All right, we're back and it's time to cover the stance. One of the pieces that I think most athletes pay probably the least amount of attention to is the stance, and it's as evidenced by every time we see a lot of athletes perform the 40-yard dash, there are so many common mistakes that they make, it is obvious that a coach has never really worked with them or told them how to set up. Yet, if you go to the Olympic Games, which we talked about already, this is your Olympic Games, you don't see Maurice Green or some world-class 100-meter guy wondering which foot he's going to put forward, or, hey, why's that guy got a different pair of shoes on, or how should my arm be, or when should I get started? There are no questions about that because he has perfected that technique because he understands the importance of how that technique is going to carry him through the rest of the race. I've heard from different 100-meter guys that they know if they miss their first step, it's going to take them 3 or 4 steps to possibly catch up for that mistake, but most times they can't. And that's 100 meters, which is much, much further than the distance in a 40-yard dash, so our room for error or our margin for error is even smaller. Now, we've seen a lot of different techniques, and we've performed hundreds of different techniques on high-speed video film just to find what works best. We're going to show you some of the common mistakes to look for, and then what we're going to do is show you the technique that works for us. In the past, one of the things that we wanted to do was we said, man, we want to take advantage of this test as much as we can, so we want to crowd the line. So what we tried to do is we did something that we kind of coined the term the bunch start. And what we did is we had the athletes get in there and kind of get that toe as far as they'd be allowed to put the toe up. We'd have them put the other toe up as far as they could too. And what we found was, wow, this is awesome. We're getting about 2 feet plus in front of that line. And we produced good times with this. But the unfortunate part was, what we found through video analysis over the years is, this position right here does not set you up for the next 3 or 4 steps in the right position that we want. And we're going to talk about what that is, and I think we're going to change how some people think. Other common mistakes that we see is, even when athletes set up with their feet in a certain area and they're down, we always see this one arm get chucked up about as far up as they can. We call this the coach's flag. Because you may have a coach on a pro day standing 40 yards away from you, and this flag says, hey coach, as soon as you see me move, start the clock. And the problem is, when this thing moves, the rest of the body really hasn't yet, okay? So when this hand is all the way back there, which seems to be the compulsory way that the 40-yard dash is taught, not only is the arm in the wrong position, but we know about levers, a long lever is a slow lever. So anybody that tries to swing their arms as fast as they can this way knows it's not as fast as I move them this way. So to change that, always keep the arm locked at the hip, ready to explode, which from a 40-yard distance is much more difficult to see move at first and gives you the advantage of at least a better time versus somebody getting the time on you.